Hey, it's your girl Stubbs, and I'm getting ready to go into the Take Charge program so I can meet with Mr. Gaskins to tell you about one of the oldest premier programs in the PG County area to help our juvenile. With Mr. Gaskins at the Take Charge program here in Forestville, Maryland. So, Mr. Gaskins, go ahead and tell them a little bit more about the Take Charge program.
Actually, Ms. Stubbs, thank you. The Take Charge program has actually been here in Prince George's County for 21 years. The program was founded by Mr. Shah Mustaf 21 years ago. He actually was a bailiff at Prince George's County court system. He saw so many of our young black youth coming through what he said the front door, and they were leaving out the back door. And he wanted to do something to help our youth to stay empowered and to help our youth from being locked up. So he started the juvenile, Take Charge Juvenile Diversion Program. So that's where the diversion piece come in. He asked the judge at that time to give him 6 kids, and rather than locking them up, to work with those kids as a mentor. He used Forestville High School, got the moms involved and the dads involved, and brought those same kids back to the court system after a period of, I think it was 2 months, and the judge could not believe that he was going to lock those same kids up. Since that time, the program has evolved into, right now, we serve over 500 young men and young ladies in Prince George's County yearly. We also do a number of different prevention and intervention programs here. So the program has grown tremendously since that time. So that's how the program evolved. That's how it came up with Mr. Shah Mustaf.
Great, that's great. We need programs like this. Now, do you do the DC area as well?
We are actually touching bases over in DC with Ward 7, I think. We're doing some work, and we're doing just a little bit in DC because obviously here in Prince George's County it does take quite a tremendous amount of time.
But we need you in the city. They need you.
We're trying. We're trying to get there very. We're trying very strongly to talk to different people, but it's a time situation that has to evolve.
And that's understood. Now let me ask you, is there an age, gender, or religious requirement for people to join this program?
No. Mr. Mustaf, and I want to say this too, Mr. Mustaf passed unfortunately in May. Very unfortunate.
Of last year?
Yes, he went home to check on our mom. And this is kind of a family-oriented business. Now, after he passed unexpectedly, his son Gerard is now the CEO of the Take Charge program, and I am vice president of the Take Charge program. However, no, there is no. We do not. We're here to work with kids. It doesn't make any. We're all from North Carolina, the southern part of North Carolina. We were all raised up in the community and
to be men.
To be men.
Southern hospitality.
That is correct. And at the same time, it took that community and the church base to raise kids in that community.
Explain that a little more, because so many people say, that's not my child. I don't, they see children doing, oh, look at that bad child, or she's grown, or, he's going to jail soon. Why should the community step up? Because so many people, I'm going to be honest, I found myself finding a child that's so bad that I was too fearful to really deal with them, because I don't know what they may say, what they may do, and what my response to their actions may be. So,
well, and to answer the other piece of your first question, we service kids from 9 to 18.
Okay.
We don't like going to 9, but we have had some kids at 9, but primarily most of our kids are basically from 12 to 18.
Okay.
As far as religion is concerned, the ethnic piece, we don't even look at that. Our job and our mission is to help our young people, and we believe very strongly that there's good in everybody. And we believe very strongly that it takes a village to raise a kid, simply because we as a parent cannot be with our kids 24/7. So therefore, when I send my kid to you to school, or if I send my kid to the store and you see my kid doing something wrong, I think that it is our God-given, it's just what we have to have, a God-given nature as a older person to correct that kid when we see them doing wrong. However, you're right. Things have evolved to a point that a lot of parents, it's all about us. Don't bother my kid. Don't say anything to my kid. And that is some of the reason that we do have the problems that we do have with our kids, because our kids know we go to work, and when we come back, they know our schedule. And it's not so much of what they do when they are around us. The quality of a good person is what they do when they're not around people that are in authority. So it does take a village to raise a kid, because the other piece of it, I may say something to my kid and you say the same thing, but it's how you said it, the time you said it, and the relationship that you develop that may turn the light on in that kid's mind and that kid's head to say, hey, Stubbs said this, and I've been saying the same thing as a parent for the last 2 or 3 months. But it didn't turn the light on. So it does take a village to raise a kid, no matter how we look at it. I think the village component is very, very, very important. When our kids come in our program, we believe in the village concept, and when our kids, we do prevention and intervention. Let me kind of explain that. The prevention piece is, we go out, we have a yellow SUV vehicle that speaks primarily against anti-gangs, anti-vehicle theft, anti-smoking, anti-truancy. We believe in in helping a young boy grow into a well-rounded person, and young ladies grow into well-rounded young women. The prevention piece is that we go out to most of the middle schools in the county during the run of the year, and the recreation centers, because that's where the kids are.
Right.
And we do seminars, we do information desks to let kids know that they shouldn't steal cars, they should go to school, and they shouldn't be truant. They should get a good education, that they should not be smoking. They should also not join gangs and crews. And we talk to them. Same thing that a lot of parents are doing as well. This is the village piece. Maybe we may say something that may turn the light on that you as a parent have already said that didn't. From that piece, then we go into the intervention piece. On the intervention piece, we offer here at the program a program called SENSE. Any parent that has a problem with their kid, they can bring their kid in, schedule an appointment, and we'll talk to their kid and do an assessment on their kid. And if we can help their kid by counseling with them, that we will try to do that. At the same time, if we feel like that kid could benefit from our behavior modification classes, we will suggest that. If we can't, then we will try to refer them to the proper agency that can help them. We are in partnership with Volunteers of America. We're in partnership with Ms. Kim Rim, with several different agencies here in the county. So that's the other piece. Then we also are in partnership with the Department of Juvenile Services. So when a kid crosses over and have a charge, and the parent take them to DJS, we can't lock our kids up. There are over 900,000 minority males in prison today as we sit. And they're in prison for a reason. Some are guilty, some are not guilty. But at the most part, there's some in the wrong place, wrong time, and some are just plain
knuckleheads at the time.
Thank you. So what we do is, when they get kids at DJS, they sometimes send those kids to us as a second chance program.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes when Judge Dawson, which is the head juvenile judge, he'd get those kids in front of him at court. Sometimes he sent them to us as a second chance program. And those kids are sent to us. When they're sent to us, the parent brings them in, we do an intake. And if they agree with the requirements of the program, and one of our requirements of the program that's very strong, well, actually 3 requirements very strong. Number 1, the parent must come with the kid to the program.
Great.
The parent has to be, because the parent is actually the foundation of that kid's life.
Correct.
Second is, we have a dress code. We ask those young men and young ladies, do they want us to treat them like men or treat them like young ladies? And they say yes. So we have them to, they have to wear shirt and ties and dress slacks. They have to start dressing and acting like a young person before you can start getting into that behavior modification piece. The program is 16 weeks, it's 4 months. We meet one night a week. So we meet 16 times. And we have a 90% success rate on the kids that graduate. Because when they come in the first night, they really don't want to be there. Neither do the parent. By the 16th week, Everybody know each other's name. Everybody's getting each other numbers. Everybody's Mr. Gaskins. You know everybody by name. We have a graduation. And we used to have a speaker from the court system, one of the lawyers, someone on our advisory board, someone on our board of directors to come in and speak with them to give them another word of wisdom. And what we actually do, we have an open door policy. Once they graduate, at any point in time, that parent can always bring that kid back to the program.
That's great.
And that kid can always come back and call me. So that way the kid can't say, well, Mom, I never had a man to talk to, or I never had men to talk to, because there are some fathers that do come with their sons, but for the most part, 90% of our moms are single boys.
Stay tuned for part 2 of Stubbs' interview with Mr. Gaskins, the VP of the Take Charge program. Special shout out to DAE Sound Productions. Also, continue to follow me on Twitter at Leap of Faith 2 and Facebook at Leap of Faith Worship, YouTube C Events 1. Also, this video was sponsored by Marriage Biz. MarriageBizOnline.com.